we got the news that he was in extremely serious condition, and it just went from worse to worse.
That evening, just not long after that, he was just laid out on the floor. And so we rushed him to the ER. He was just like so sick, and I could hardly, get him to the hospital. The doctor had called me up, and he said, I'm really concerned that he might have E. coli. But in our case, he contracted HUS, which then developed into kidney failure and to the most severe case of HUS.
The doctor had said that this is basically out of their helicopter. We're going to fly him there.
I was just flooded with the sense that I might never know my boy. Growing up to be a man, it might be this week that I lose my son. All of a sudden, his speech starts to slur. He just started not being able to communicate, not being able to respond. And at that moment, I thought, I'm losing my son. Even if he makes it through this, I don't know if he'll ever know me again. He was just sprawled out on the bed and couldn't respond to anything.
There's a time when you've said every prayer you can say, and you don't have the strength to praise and worship anymore. And you haven't slept for weeks. And you're just kind of undone. And that was a moment for me when I was undone. The flip side of that is, I feel like that was the moment that I really began to feel the prayers around the world.
Hi, it's Christmas morning, and a lot of you are asking how Jackson's doing, and just want to say thanks for all your prayers and support. It's been overwhelming. It's a really long story, but it's really complicated right now, and we really need a Christmas miracle. They can't get to his blood.
There was something supernatural that happened that brought the church together. I would pull up social media and I would just read people's prayers in the comments of people all over the world.
People posting by the thousands, commenting, and they'd be all over the world. We're in Brazil, my whole church is praying for you. I'm in Russia, my little children pray for your son every day. I didn't have any prayers left to say, but I could feel and see and hear the prayers being said on my behalf.
Yeah, this is a box full of letters and something that we've really treasured.
This is the bed that Jackson is laying on. And Jesus is healing him there in the middle of the world.
Well,
Jesus, from Mercy, 4 years old.
I remember the night we got the text that they didn't think he was going to make it through the night.
I could just feel like we're going to lose. Like, we're going to lose Jackson. Like, we're not going to win this one. There's not going to be victory on this battlefield.
Those moments, even though they're really hard, in those moments for us, like, the only option is, like, we just have to worship.
I remember standing at this crossroads and this giant of unbelief standing in front of me. Like, it's your prayers don't matter. All these prayers don't matter. Like, the Lord's not going to hear it. This is going to be like the other moments where you prayed with all your heart and then you buried your friend the next week. But there was like something inside of me of like, no. And the melody just erupted out of my heart that, I raise a hallelujah in the presence of my enemies.
He sent me a song, and I didn't know to what extent, but it said their community had prayed for Jackson, and in a spontaneous moment, they came up with a song, and so they just, recorded it and sent it to me. I took that song over my phone and I played it over my son over and over again. I raise a hallelujah in the presence of my enemies. I raise a hallelujah. My weapon is a melody. And that's exactly what I was doing. I was fighting warfare. And
I started talking again.
What did you just paint a
You know, you could tell it was still like fragile, it was still coming back, but he was talking again, and that was like amazing. He was.
Hey, buddy, look, we're going home. Look, you haven't been outside for a month.
I remember hearing the news that Jackson is coming home.
We believe in the power of praise. We've seen God do a lot. And I don't know the secret to all of it, but I do know that Jackson is well today. And I can't help but wonder or think that that praise had a part of that.
This is part of our story now, and it's part of Jackson's testimony of his life, that the world will know that miracles happen.
And what is necessary is for the people of God to rise to the occasion, to face the impossibilities of life with the confidence of God's character, his nature, and his promise. There's no other option. We were called to this. This is our responsibility. It is our privilege.